Hello everyone, it's Mozario with Mozario Design. Welcome to my channel. This is part 8 of a 10-part series, 3D CAD design series. This one is going to be a little tricky, a little bit more difficult to do than the previous one. Although with this one there are no lofts. It's one of those where it's just a few more steps to get this completed. I like to note that the operating system I'm using is Windows, so all of my keystrokes and everything will correspond with the system. We'll go ahead and get started. So, also, I want to note too that I have all of the drawings and stuff on my portfolio page on my portfolio website. So there'll be a link in the description if you want to attack this design yourself using Fusion 360. All right, so with this, we're going to get started. With this model, I want to get like a basic profile going, and then we're going to extrude. It's going to be a lot of extrusions going on, a lot of new body extrusions and cutaway extrusions. So let's get started. So with this model, with it being what it is, we're going to start in the middle. Let's see. Actually, let's start from the front. We're going to start from the front, and from there we're going to split the model in half, make it easy to work with. So let's start at the origin. All right, so create sketch. You want to left click on that plane there. Oh, also, you want to make sure that all of your dimensions are in metric or in millimeter. You can go over here into the document settings and change it. I got it set as default, so I don't have to do it every time I open a document. All right, so we're going to start out with a 2-point rectangle. Okay, so the width of the profile that we're going to draw is going to be 10 millimeters. Okay, so we'll just do like a little rough, let's see. So we know the width is 10. Okay, do like that. Let's see. All right, we'll do another 2-point rectangle. Okay, width is still 10. Do something like that, and then we'll do another one up here somewhere. Okay, all right. Okay, so I just did a couple 2-point rectangles to get like the overall, just like a little rough sketch of the profile that we want. Okay, now we're going to go to trim and take out some of these segments. Okay, press enter. All right, you don't want to finish the sketch yet because we still got work to do. So the first dimension calls for let's see, what, let's go down here too. What I'm going to do, let's see, what will be the quickest way. All right, so the distance from this segment here to this segment is going to be 10. Okay, and then same thing here, from here to here, it's going to be 10. All right, now the distance from here to here is going to be half of 135 because the total length, or how would you say, yeah, the total length or height, we'll say height because of the way this drawing is position, it's going to be 135, right? So 135 divided by 2, let's do the math right quick. I could do it in my head, but we want to just, for the sake of, let's see. All right, 67.5. So for this, we want to enter in 67.5 because we're only doing half of the drawing here. So you notice when we did that, it threw some things off, right? So let's simplify this first. Let's say from this dimension, this segment to here, it's going to be an overall length of 55, right? So let's see. If I'm doing the math right, the math is going to say 55 divided by 2 is 27.5. Let's check again to make sure that's correct. Yep, 27.5. So let's type in 27.5 and see what happens. Okay, good. All right. Now we have that. Now let's go back up to the overall length. And since we have a constraint in place, let's type in, let's see, 135 divided by 2. I think we said it was 67.5. There it is. All right. So now what we need to do is mirror what we have here on the other side. But let's get rid of some extra, let's see. Okay. All right, good. So press enter. Now let's mirror this profile. Let's select the whole thing. Okay. Now the mirror line is going to be the other side of this line here. So you want to select the line. You select it. And it should mirror everything over. Don't look like it worked. Nope. Okay. So let's bring back the origin and let's select this axis. There it is. All right. Press OK. Now to check if our dimensions are correct, let's do a sketch dimension from this end to this end and we should get 135. Yep, we got 135. You see that? So we're good to go. And then let's check this dimension here. So it looked like it continued. Yep, let's cancel that. And let's go from here to here, 55. That's what we want. Okay, good. So we're all good to go. Let's finish the sketch. Press OK. Let's go to isometric and we want to extrude. But let's simplify this because we want this as one part. I mean, you know, one profile. So if you hit Control Z, it should allow you to go back to the sketch. And we need to trim some of this, some of these segments here. Okay, press enter. It's still two different profiles. Let's do that one more time. Okay, press enter. There it is. Okay, good. It's one profile. Let's finish the sketch. Let's take out the origin. We don't need it yet. We're going to extrude this profile. So left click it, and when it highlights blue, click extrude. Now the overall width of the part is going to be 90 millimeters. Okay, good. So we have that. Now what we want to do is draw on this plane here. So go ahead, left click it, click create sketch, and you want to project and include. Let's project all of these. Press OK. All right, you can do it as one body, but I just feel better doing, you know, selecting each face for projection. Now let's get some construction lines in here. Okay, so the first dimension we need to put in is going to be that 20, right? The 20 millimeters is, it's going to set the center for our ID inside diameter. So from here, you want to go tap on that and click over, kind of like hover over, and you want to type in 20. Okay, and then from there you want to do another dimension, and it's going to be 50. So the total will be 70, right? So you got 20 here, so what's left will be 20 right here. Okay, so now the next one we want to do is from the center. Okay, we have another dimension we need to put up to find our center of the ID that we're creating. So what we have to do, the overall length from center is going to be 105. Let's whip out the calculator. We want to do 105 divided by 2. And it's going to be 52.5. So you see, that's why I created this part from the origin, because like I said, we're going to be working from the center. That's the way the dimensions are displayed from the original drawing. So let's see, it's going to be 105 divided by 2, and let's see, that's going to be 52.5. So let's go to the origin and drag it up, and we're going to type in 52.5, and that's going to be our center of the diameter. You see that? So you kind of drag up, you see it snaps to that intersection, drag it down, and boom. So that's how you find your center, and that'll be for the ID. I'm gonna take this construction line across. There we go. And now we'll be able to put in our ID. So let's turn off our construction line. We're going to go from here, and that's going to be, no wait, that did it wrong. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Kind of hover, don't click anything yet. You want to go to the center and then click the center for the ID, and that calls for 12 millimeters. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, kind of drag it down. Okay. All right, now we have to draw that little section there. It's going to turn into a extrusion of a triangle. So let's go back to our construction line. All right, now we want to create a segment, and from this point we're going to go over 37 millimeters. Okay. Now we can turn off our construction line and turn it into a solid line. Okay, so from that 37 millimeters, we're going to drag it down, create a line segment. You want to do the same thing here. Create a line segment. It calls for 6 mil. Okay, do the same thing over here, drag it down. Easier way to do that, to cut down some time, is to do a 2-point rectangle, right? So let's say if we back up a few steps, could simply do a 2-point, drag it down to here, right? So that first dimension is 6, and the other dimension is locked in. There you go. So that's another way to do it too. As long as it snaps, then that's what we want. All right, so from there, we're gonna we're not gonna finish the sketch yet. We want to what we drew on this plane, we want to mirror over to the other side. That way we're cutting down on time. You don't want to have to you know, make redundant you know, complete redundant steps basically. So let's mirror what we just drew. You go over to create, mirror, want to select all of these segments we just created. Okay, the mirror line is going to be in the middle, but see, we got to bring back our origin. You see, you want to click on that axis. Let me take this away. So you see that green axis, you want to click that. And it's going to put what we drew on the other side. Click our bodies back. Finish the sketch. Okay. Let's go to isometric. And now we're going to extrude. Okay. So the first extrusions are going to be cut throughs. They're going to be pass throughs for the ID. So you want to click each profile. Okay. You can drag it through. Press OK. And that'll complete that stuff for the IDs. But you want to do the same thing. We want to extrude. Let's see. Let's bring back our sketches. We want to extrude these surfaces here. So go back to extrude. Click on these two. And if you click on this surface, it's going to automatically take it to that plane, that face there. We want to do these as new bodies so we can manipulate them. There we go. All right. Now, let's draw on this face here. So go ahead and click on that face and create sketch. Now we want to create an intersection. Well, I'm sorry. We're going to create a line segment to split this part in half. So want to go line, click on that intersection. Now we want to mirror onto the other side, but see, in order to do this, let's go ahead and just create two more segments to connect these two. Okay. Press finish. No, let's mirror. All right, so let's press OK. And you see we created a profile. So we want to do that. We want to mirror that off to the other side. So click these slide segments, mirror, and you see how it pops up on the other side. That's exactly what we want. All right, now we want to finish the sketch. Go back to our isometric view. Now let's go back up to extrude. And we can click these profiles at the same time, right? If you would just use one line to go from this intersection to that intersection and mirror it over, it wasn't going to allow us to select a profile on the mirror side. The program just doesn't work like that. Even if you project the lines onto that face, it still won't work. So you'd be better off just doing that triangle, kind of splitting that rectangle in half and then just mirroring the whole thing on the other side. That way, when we go to highlight both, we could take them both through like that. Press OK. All right, so we're actually almost done. Now, what we need to do is draw on this face, right? So drawing that face, to draw on it, you click on it. To highlight it, create sketch, do the same thing. Now we want to project, just to make sure that we include what we're drawing on. I just like projections. All right, so let's create a couple of construction lines. It's construction line here. Okay. Now, for the line type, I did construction. We're going to create a line that goes from this point here, and we want to go down 45 mil. All right, so that's going to establish the ID that calls for a radius of 20. Let's see. I'm sorry. The inside diameter of 20 and the outside diameter of 40. So in order to do that, let's see. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. Got it. All right. So there's a ID OD that we created, right? If you flip this over, actually goes from the center. When we did a projection, it projected the center of this ID, right? That's exactly what we want. So let's go back to the top view. Okay. And we want to go from this center. Let's see if it'll work. I might have to project that point because I see it, but it's not selectable. So let me select that for our projection. Let's see if, yep, there it is. We're able to lock on. So you go back up to create, project, and then you want to project that little dot too. That's going to establish the ID, the center for the ID that we're going to draw on this plane. So let's do the same thing. Want to carry it over. Okay. Now the cool thing about this program, since we're creating a construction line, you can actually hover over to this endpoint and kind of drag it over, and it's going to establish like a right angle. Like, that's really cool. So go ahead and click that. You can click the check mark and it's going to lock it in. So you flip it around and let's see if this works. Let's see. All right, so it'll be redundant to create a line segment from here to here. We know that that's going to establish our center of the diameter that we're, the inside diameter that we're trying to create. So let's go back over to the center diameter circle, make sure it's a solid line. Go to the endpoint we just created, and the inside diameter calls for 20 mil. Okay, see if we did that right. Yeah, it looks right. Okay, now the outside diameter calls for 40. If this does what we wanted to do, let's see. Here we go. All right, that's exactly what we want. Now, what we want to do is create a couple of line segments that's going to connect from here to the tangent of this outside diameter. And since we have that established, if you drag it down to the other side of the circle, the other tangent, it's going to lock in. You see that icon pop up for the tangent? That's what we want. And you want to just swing that segment over to this line. There it is. All right, so you see we created a profile, exactly what we want, because we want to extrude this to the other side of the part. So let's do some trimming though. We gotta make this look good. Okay, go ahead, finish the sketch. Now go back to your isometric view, and you see that highlighted, you see how the profile's highlighted? If we click on that and extrude it, you can actually just tap on this face here, and it's going to extrude to the other side. Now, you can do it as a new body, or you can join it. And with this, we can join it. There it is. All right, so if you look, we're getting there. Now, the final step, here's why I wanted to create this starting from the origin, so we can, because what we need to do, that middle section of the part, we need to draw on a plane, right? And that plane, that offset plane, that face needs to be in the middle of the part. You can create it manually if you want, or you can just use the original origin and the faces and do it like that. So I'm gonna show you how to create it manually without using the origin faces. So if you go to construct and you go to mid plane, let's say if you want to go to the middle of these two faces, like this one and this one, or even, yeah, or you can go here and there. The objective is to put a offset plane right in the middle of this part. So let's say if you choose that face and you flip it over and choose that face, it's going to put you right in the middle, right? So as a matter of fact, let's go ahead, since we did the stuff, let's go ahead and press OK. All right, now let's turn off the origin because we don't need too many colors in here. We get confused. All right, so for the last step, let's go ahead and click on that offset plane we just created. create sketch, and we need to do some projections. Let's project this. Let's project this. And I think that's it. Press OK. All right. Now, what you want to do is create a line segment that goes from this point to the tangent of this outside diameter, which would be here. Okay. You see how it highlights blue? That's exactly what we want, because now this is going to allow us to do an extrusion. We'll be able to extrude this profile. So go ahead, finish the sketch. Kind of flip it. You can go and just click the little home. And if you click this profile now, when we go to extrude, we can extrude in both directions. The overall width of that section calls for 6 millimeters. So with that highlighted, you want to go to symmetric, and for our distance, we're going to type in 3. Press OK to join, and there you have it. If you turn off the visibility for sketches, go to home, and there you have it. It's as simple as that. We just created our 8th part, CAD part. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found it easy to follow along. Like I said, it was more difficult than, like I said, the previous ones, because there were a lot more steps involved, even though we're not using like the sweep function or loft or anything like that. We were just using the extrusions to produce new bodies and a cutaway material, stuff like that. So again, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. Number 9 is next. So if you're interested, go ahead and click on the next video. I appreciate all the love and support I can get. Click like and subscribe. Again, I would appreciate it. And until next time.